Someone asked me recently what was on my bucket list, and I thought about it and I realized that I only really had two things. The first thing to say is that I'm not talking about films. I have a number of films I'm working on that I want to get made, as you would have heard about on previous videos and will hear about on future videos, but this is about things outside of that realm. The first one is that I would really like to live in a small cabin, a tiny house cabin on a mountain in Australia, off-grid, simple living, being more in tune with nature. It's something I've been thinking about for years and years. Something which feels very close to me, feels like it's suits my personality. I'd like to have several tiny cabins there where people could live or visit, and it needs to be in Australia because that's where I'm from, that's where my family is, and that's where I want to be. I like to be self-sufficient. As I mentioned before, I like time alone, and that cabin in the woods environment suits me perfectly. But also, have a dog, grow some things, read a lot, and just live a simple lifestyle. I don't need much stuff. I never really have. And I don't know, a quality I have, which is probably considered a weakness in the world we live in, is that I don't like holding on to things which I'm not using. Years ago I gave away about 90% of my clothes because I looked at them, and some of them I hadn't worn in 10 years or more. Some I hadn't worn in for so long, I can't remember how long. And it just seemed ridiculous to me that I dragged these things around with me when someone else could be making use of them. And I have the same view on anything, furniture, possessions, things that have some sort of emotional connection I like to hang on to. But other than that, I like to have as minimal lifestyle as possible with as fewer things. And I find that the fewer things I have, the less stress I have. So, and I know that's me, that suits me. So that's definitely something I've been thinking about for years. There's some big challenges there about getting some land, building a cabin or several cabins ideally. So, there's some challenges ahead there, but it's definitely on my bucket list. And the second thing is kind of travel related, but if I was able to get my cabin on a mountain in Australia, on my way there, I would like to spend a year in Italy. That's the second thing on my bucket list. I've been to Italy many times. I've worked as an actor on 3 feature films there, and hopefully there'll be more. I'd like to make a film there as a filmmaker. I've explored different parts of Italy, but I'd like to explore a lot more. And it's one of those places where I feel very comfortable. Just being there with the people, the lifestyle. I just feel a sense of belonging there. So I want to live there for a year on my way back to Australia. I think it'd be wonderful. I have, I mean, I suppose in a way I do have other travel bucket list places, but the truth is that a number of them, look, I'd be fascinated to go to Iran, Iraq, Syria, Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, Jordan, all these places. I mean, I know next to nothing about history, but I know enough to know that this is the crossroads of human history, where Europe and Asia and Africa and all these places pass through this part of the world, and there's so much history there. Unfortunately, I wish I'd gone and I wish I'd been aware enough to go in my 20s, but it's not really something I can do now practically. So, and there are other places I'd hope to visit, but I'm fortunate that I've lived in several countries, in different cultures, different religions, and I've traveled to quite a few more. So I consider myself very lucky. So if I never traveled to another country again, I feel privileged to have been to the places I've been to. So really, it comes down to those two things. Get the cabin in Australia, spend a year in Italy on the way there. So, I mean, there's a lot of hurdles that would need to be jumped before I can achieve those two things, but they are both always in the back of my mind. And when I think about things, I think about how what I'm doing might be able to serve those two things. Yeah. But, as long as I keep doing the things that make me happy and make me feel alive, then I think there's always a chance that you can achieve those things. Because I think when you're engaged and happy in what you do, and work hard, of course, things happen. So I keep my fingers crossed that one day I'll be able to achieve those things. Thank you for watching. It'd be great if you could subscribe, like, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you think. I hope to see you in the next one.